Hello, everybody. It's me, TONIK TZW, and we're here in the campaign reward ship, the VELOS. Basically, I got close enough to the end to warrant spending just a few doubloons to finish it early and start earning some steel. But as the tagline says there on the title, has this ship been outclassed from the start? I've tried a couple of different builds on this. I've tried one with Jersey Swirsky, going full concealment, um, and literally trying to use it as a gun board and as a torpedo board. So mixing, matching, trying out different things, see what works for me. Um, the answer is not a lot, really. I can't say that I've had any brilliant, amazing games in this, but this is World of Warship Legends, and not every game is amazing and brilliant and a victory and a kraken in every video. Um, Sometimes you just got to showcase a ship the way it is and the way it's played, and not try to pull out all the glitz, glamour, and glitter to make it seem like it's something special, because I don't actually feel that this ship is anything special. Sorry, I had to mute the mic there so I could clear my throat. So the difference between running Swirsky and this current build is only 100 meters in concealment. There is a much faster torpedo reload on it, but a slightly slower main battery reload. So it's a little bit of a trade. And to be honest, I'd say that the torpedoes are worth more than the main battery reload. You're talking 3 or 4 tenths of a second, whereas you're talking, quite a few seconds in relation to the torpedo reload. It does only have the single rack of torpedoes, and I've heard it described as a tier 8 kid. Now, the kid is quite a fun ship to play down at tier 6, especially in things like one-on-one destroyer battles, and in ranked, that's a lot of fun. I threw on this build a torpedo reload, and I can't remember which build I actually used for this video. But looking at the team sheet there is a full division with an Elbing, a Missouri, and the Enterprise. We've got an Enterprise on our side, we've got a Rochester and a Hawk in division. And if you know anything about potatoes, you'll know that generally different types of potatoes are given names, such as King Edward and things like that. I'd like to suggest a Wargaming that they petition for a new name to be given to a new breed of torpedo, a new name of potato, and it should be Rochester. And let's just say I didn't think this game was going to come anywhere close to being a victory. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that people are chasing. But the way this game played out, I make a mistake of my own, which nearly cost me my ship. But we're going to try and pull something together. Now, what I just realized as I was putting the video together with all the screenshots for the team lists is that Johnny Rocket, who starred in a Missouri video earlier this week, was in this game, and I didn't realize it till just now. He's in the black, who is out there on the right flank, and I think he's got, is it a Musashi out there with him? And what I will say is I think that those two guys absolutely played a stormer on that flank on their own, because if you look at the disposition of ships, for those of you that don't do big words, that's if you have a look at where our ships are, basically 4 out of our 5 capital ships are going to go left. No destroyer cover, as I'm getting bombed on the cap by the Enterprise, and no cruiser cover, because the Rochester is going to sail down and park beside the carrier and stay there for pretty much 10 whole minutes of the game. And even though I'm in the middle of the cap, I'm not contested. I know there's a Friesland out here, and yeah, what I was going to say about this ship being outclassed is it's tier 7, 8, and legendary. So that's all the ships that you could be matched against. you were already at a disadvantage. If you look at the Z-52 at Legendary tier with its long-range sonar and the Lushun, which has just been a campaign ship, both of those destroyers, I think, outclass this by a long way purely because of their sonar. Now, I think that I've got the Friesland here on my left in the smoke screen, purely because there's a lot of gunfire coming out of there, and I've avoided torpedoes from the carrier, but I've no doubt that he's going to do a second run, and thinking that the Friesland is out here in front of me, and I'm expecting the carrier to come in again, and there is a Missouri just off to the right-hand side of the screen there, out of view. But he's obviously got radar, and I don't want to be in the way of that radar. But I'm looking at these shots coming in. I'm thinking, is that the Friesland? He's probably running sonar. We might get lucky with a torpedo. But then all of a sudden, torpedoes are coming. And I'm thinking, okay, that's not the Friesland. So what the hell is out there? I take a torpedo. Now, if I'd been running Sims, that wouldn't have been as much of a hit. But it's a whole 10k of my health, so more than 50% of my health gone there with one torpedo. And I'm like on the mic and I'm saying, okay guys, look, I've got no support in here. I land a torpedo on the destroyer in the smoke screen, so I'm just going to back the hell off this cap and save myself. I'm playing selfishly here. I'm coming off the cap. I'm saving my own skin. I haven't got any support, and there's really not a lot the team are doing for me, and so there's not really much more that I can do for the team here. Certainly not with that Missouri pushing in. He's going to be on probably ready to hit the radar, so I'm going to make sure that I stay far enough away from him. So yes, are there better destroyers to play at 7, 8 and Legendary? Yes, there are. Your concealment, you can be on par with other ships, but with a single set of torpedoes, yes, you've got the fast guns, so you can potentially win a gunfight. But when you've got things like the Kagero, the Adachi, the Shimikaze, the Jaeger, that can all just spit out a ridiculous wall of skill at you, you've got to stay agile, and that's one of the reasons why I don't use the engine mod on my destroyers, just purely to stay agile. And it's the reason I also run Unstoppable, because it's high captain levels, so it's 15, 16 Legendary 3 or Legendary 4. Running Unstoppable is going to basically make sure that I have as much survivability as I can. Now watch this, we get spotted there, we know it's not the Missouri, so there's something else out there, so I'm going to move. So here we are using the game mechanics, and there is the Friesland. So I don't know where he's been this whole time, but that means it was the other destroyer that was in the cap, and I'm not going to stay there and fight against the Missouri and the Friesland, because that is a fight that I cannot win. The combination of radar and sonar there, there's no way that I can win that fight, so I'm going to back off. And there is our lovely Rochester out there, parked up beside the carrier. He's safe as houses. Look at the left side of the minimap. It's just a complete stalemate. I don't know what the hell was going on out there, but their carrier is absolutely slapping the living daylights out of them. So I'm going to try and get a fire on at this Missouri, or at least try and keep him spotted for the team. He's going to ping some shots in the opposite direction, and I want to stay away from the Friesland, because the Friesland has pushed across to A cap, obviously understands that cap's a king in domination mode. We control 2, they control 1, and if we can keep this Missouri spotted and let the team get rid of him, then I can push back into the center. But as you've seen so far, I've pretty much had zero support in this game. I've pushed in, I've taken a cap, we've hit a couple of torpedoes, we've done a little bit of damage, and we weren't able to defend the cap from the Missouri and the Friesland, because that other destroyer was obviously in the vicinity as well. But now the Missouri's gone, and I know that the Friesland is out there on A cap, I'm going to push back in. It would be great to have the Rochester helping me out with this one because his guns would make short work of any destroyer in this game. But there's a set of torpedoes, and I'm thinking, okay, you will notice that I'm not running perceptive or twist and track on this one because I was just playing around with different builds, so I don't really have a clue where this destroyer is. So I'm relying on my 5 kilometers of concealment and pushing back into the cap. I'm expecting that the Friesland will come back out against me, and then I call across there to the black. That's Johnny Rocket, and he and that battleship across there. Like I said, they've played a solid game to get up there, push that cap, and take it. But there's an Elbing out here somewhere. That is the guy that was in the cap and firing the torpedoes at me. And he's still out here somewhere, and we're going to bump into him. So we've already taken a torpedo.
Ese no
We're
tiene
going to make
torpedo,
another
no
mistake
torque.
in that, knowing it's the Elbing, I've left high explosive loaded. And there we go, spotted, and panic a moment there. But we're going, can we sort of knock out his torpedo launchers? I don't know if anybody else has line of sight for him, so I'm going to have to stay bare naked lady and not pop my smoke screen for a while just to let people get damage onto him. And I am going to switch to armor piercing in a second because it was it took me a moment to realize that it was the Elbing. So he's popped his smoke, I'm still spotted. I'm going to pop my smoke because I'm taking damage, and I'm guessing that must be radar from the black there. We've switched to HE, we've switched to AP. The torpedoes are running through the smoke, and we are going to finish that guy off. That is our first kill of the game. There is the carrier. And now, looking at how many hit points I've got left, the carrier is dropping torpedoes through my smoke. So he's playing well, but I try not to be a dope in a smoke too often. There is the odd occasion where that actually happens. There's the Massachusetts, who's very, very low health, and I think our main across on the left flank there, who is the only ship out of the 4 battleships that went that way to survive. And with more torpedoes coming in here from the carrier, I decide that once this cap has turned, I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge. And you can see my frustration there, pinging the map. The Rochester is finally moving. 5 minutes left on the game. I don't know if the guy had to go and take a dump or what, but I messaged him afterwards. I was like, cheers for the help, not. He's like, what you want about? We won? And I'm like, yeah, no thanks to your efforts. So enough to get my point across, but without getting myself another 3-day comms ban on PlayStation Network. I'm trying to be a little bit more polite in my messages to potatoes, and doing as much as I can to restrain myself from sending messages to other people. Now, there is the Enterprise. I burned through both of my enhanced AA add-ons there. We've taken down a few planes. It's by no means a Friesland with a full AA build, this thing, and I'm looking to get my torpedoes out, but this is where intuition pays, because he's just come out from behind that rock, which means he is going to continue to increase speed. And as you can see there, if I'd have fired my torpedoes, he would have been well past them. But now that he's up to speed, we're going to lead him a little bit more, and we're going to let him focus his planes on us. We've got 2,000 hit points. The torpedoes are on the way. We're well up in the points as the Musashi absolutely clatters him. But this guy is adamant that he is going to get a kill on me before this game is over. Now, we didn't get a kill on either of his teammates, but it's always nice to take a division to pieces, even if it's just one ship. And that torpedo was just enough to take him down and finish the game. So by no means a high-scoring, absolutely immaculate, pristine game. But yeah, there are better ships than this to play at Tier 8. I take second spot overall. John Rocket there in third position, the Musashi in top position. So, what's your take on the Velos if you've got it already? And to be honest, I say don't ever sell a ship. I probably won't play a lot of this. I'll see eventually if I can turn it into a Kraken ship, but I don't think it's going to be a regular ship on my play roster. But we'll have to see what we can make of it, see if we can turn a pig's ear into a silk purse. As always, please do smash the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so. You can donate to the channel through the PayPal link or directly through the video. You can also take up a subscription for as little as 99 pence a month if you're feeling really generous. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care and goodbye.